Hello and welcome to this pattern recognition video featuring 10 puzzles that were from games rated 2000 to 2200. If you're not familiar with pattern recognition, you want to solve a set of puzzles like these 10 today, and it's recommended that you go over them more than one time. That way you don't just forget the tactics and patterns that you see. So let's see what we have in this first puzzle. And these are random tactics. If you study on your own, you can pick specific tactics if you want. But random ones, a little more closely simulate an actual game where you don't know what the tactics might be. All right. What just happened? So you want to see what your opponent, what move they just made. It looks like we had an attack on the king and the king went running. How can we take advantage of this? All right, pause at any time if you need to think longer. If not, it looks like we can go here with check. And if the king tries to run back up, to the back rank, then I think we can go there. And if the rook captures, we can capture, and the bishop can block, and we can... Oh, we can't take that. So maybe this doesn't work the way we planned here. All right. Oh, the bishop. Okay, let me take another look at this. Let's see here. Check. The king runs here. If we deliver the check, of course the bishop can't block because of this. So the bishop can't go there. So check. Oh, sorry, I actually made the move. You want to try and figure it all out in your head before you continue. But obviously this bishop move was the correct move for the first part of it. All right, so I was thinking we go there. He'll be forced to take, and then we go there. But then the bishop can block. We'll be able to take that bishop and then promote. So I might as well go there first. All right. Then we go there. Now the question is, do we take? He takes. We promote to a queen. And he would have to run. But I think we can go there and deliver a crisscrossing mate. Oh, okay. I'll play this, or I'll talk this out. We go there. He captures. We promote with check. Promote to a queen. He has to go here. We go there, delivering a check and a mate. So good little pattern there. Because now, he can't go anywhere except for here. And then we can deliver a mate here, which is a great pattern to know. If the king is here and our queen is here, the queen will cover both sides, the diagonal through the middle. The only thing that won't be covered by the queen are those two squares, but the bishop will cover that. All right, on to puzzle number 2. Okay, we have a huge pawn majority over here. 4 pawns on the queen side over here. The first one pushed forward, attacking our rook. What do we do here? Well, the issue might be, what if the other one pushes forward? I mean, I guess our king could go there. That'll slow these pawns down. But since our rook is under attack, we do have this pawn, getting close to promoting over here. And our rook is doing a good job of keeping the king out of the side of the board where we're trying to promote. So maybe we just move over here, move our rook over, keeping the king out of there. But let's take a look. If he were to capture, then we capture, and the king starts trying to move over, we can still cut the king off. All right. Well, I mean, that looks to be the obvious move, is to just go right there. That'll keep the king away from our pawn. The rook can't go here. And it'll take him too long. He won't be able to get to our passed pawn. So I think that's the way to go. But, if I go here, what if he does that? We take. If he tries to check us, I don't know. I think that's the way to go. We just go there. And, yeah, we're pretty much forced to capture here, I think. Yeah, and there's no way to stop our passed pawn. All right, well, I hope you figured that out. On to puzzle number 3. Okay, what is this? It looks like we can just take that rook with a check. Why did our opponent do that? Well, if we take, the king has to go here attacking us. And then, what do we do after that? And what counterattacks does our opponent have? Don't really see anything at the moment. I mean, other than the queen aimed here. So, yeah, it looks like we should just take that. And is that an obvious mistake? The king would have to go here. Then what? I mean, we could go there with a discovered check and we protect the rook. The king would be forced to go out here. But then what do we do? All right, wow, okay. We go there, we take. The king has to go here. Now what? All right, what am I overlooking here? So we just take. We're still behind in material. So maybe we don't play the obvious move. What if we go here? Because then we have a discovered attack and a check at the same time. So whenever the king is in check, he has to capture, block, or run, but this is a double discovered check. So the only thing that can be done is for the king to run, and then it looks like it'll lead to a mate, or the queen will be lost. Let's double check. Capture the pawn with check by the rook, or excuse me, by the knight and the bishop. So once we do that, if the king runs here, well, then our rook will deliver a mate. So the king will probably have to go here. Then we capture. His queen will have to block. Yeah, so it's not looking good. There we go. Queen will have to block. We just capture that and deliver the mate. Okay, I hope you found that one. On to puzzle number 4. A pawn has just stepped forward, unleashing the queen. I don't see any serious attacks on our king possible. What can we do? All right. Well, we have this great pattern here with the knight on f3. If the rook could just go here, that would be a mate. So, how can we get that rook there? Looks like we can move the bishop here. If the queen captures, then we capture the pawn with our rook, delivering mate. The only other option is for this pawn to push forward, but we can just capture that with the rook as well. Oh, okay. I overlooked that little move, but here we can just go ahead and take that. And we end up delivering the checkmate. All right, well, hopefully you found that. On to puzzle number 5. We just had a capture. There's a threat of capture, pawn captures, forking the king and the rook there. So what can we do? Do we have an attack on our opponent's king that is hanging out here in the middle? Looks like we could go ahead and take that bishop with check. But do we have anything better? If we go there, bishop could just take. And then if we take, queen takes, we'll just be down. They'll have a rook for our bishop. And will they have an extra? They have a bishop as well? All right. So maybe we take that. They could block with their queen. We could keep attacking with our... Well, no, because they have this other bishop covering that. All right, what do we got here? Okay, maybe we take, if they block with the queen, oh, we can go there, attacking, and then pick up the queen. So that looks bad for them if they block with their queen. So if we go there, then what? Let's see. Check. remember, when a king is being checked, the three options are capture, block, or run. So if we capture that bishop, they can't capture a queen. We saw that they don't want to block with their queen, so the king would probably have to run. And then, oh, there's also this threat of mate right here. Wow. So, with that in mind, if we capture this and that king starts running, where can he go? Yeah, this is a little bit tough when you have to make sure that you can keep checking or checkmate because of that mate threat. So take with check. The king can go where? Here, 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 or here. Huh. Well, if he goes here to f4 or e4, we could we could capture the bishop there. Huh. But what if he goes the other way? So if he goes here, after we go there, if he goes there, do we go back where we were? He could start really running there. Wow. Okay, I'm going to just play this out since we have to keep moving here. So that was the first move. Now that he goes there, what's next? What can we do? Oh, does this work? We go there, pinning the queen to the king. If he goes here, our queen is covering that. Oh, wow, he does have a check, though. If we go there, he could capture with check. We would have to step here and block. We'd still be okay. All right, now we're just winning. We have rook for rook, bishop for bishop, and then the queen versus his other rook. Man, it does look dangerous, though. If he brings one of his rooks over here and threatens this mate, well, I guess we could block something like that. Wow, so it's looking pretty crazy. All right, on to puzzle number 6. The king was in check and runs forward. What can we do here? Our own king has a queen lined up on it. Can't push this pawn up here and try and check. So, what should we do? Material's even here. How can we get some kind of an advantage? I mean, we could go here and check. The king has to go forward. And then what? How do we continue our attack? So check. The only thing that can be done is for the king to go forward. And if only we could go there, but we can't because of their queen. So check, king comes forward. Now what do we do? I mean, I guess we could step forward, threaten to take this other pawn. But that could be pushed forward. Well, what am I missing here? What am I missing? Or do we just start picking off their pawns? We take that. What can they do? Well, I guess they could go there and check. If we go there, then what? Oh, then he could go back here and start picking off our pawns. So I don't know. Maybe we got to go there. He goes there. Now what? What if we go, like I said, maybe we go here. No, his king could move back up, so we have to go there. The pawn would have to push forward. Then the king is really trapped in there. All right, well, let's play this out. We go there. Now what? Well, if we go after that, nope, they don't want that. What am I missing here? I mean, if we go there, we threaten a mate on the next move. So maybe that's what we got to do. We go there. Oh, but now there's the fork. All right. Wow. Okay. Hopefully you found that one. Did a little bit better than I did. On to puzzle number 7. Queen is just captured. It's our turn. What checks, captures, or threats do we have? We do have a check here. If they block, we can pick that off with another check, and then maybe take that. So once we check, they can't capture. They can block, but we saw that that's probably not so good. They could run, but either way, we're going after this other rook here. So maybe that's the way to go. Now, do we just take the rook? Probably. Then we can grab the other rook, but we have to be careful because there's an attack here. So maybe we don't get greedy and we just take that, attacking their queen. Although they can't check us. We're still attacking, so I think we do that. Now our rook is safe and we're just ahead by a knight and an extra rook. All right, on to puzzle number 8. Okay, the bishop is putting pressure on the knight along with the queen. So 2 attackers, 1 defender. We do have this possibility. Attacking, backed up by the knight. The only move is to go here. And then we can go there, forking the king and the bishop. And then we'll have mate on the next. Oh, no, because this bishop, we don't have mate on the next move right there. All right, so capture with check. King has to go here. We could go there. Then he would have to go here. Well, now we can pick this bishop off with our queen or the knight. But then, I don't know, he could start checking our king. So our king's way out there in the open. So how do we handle that? Huh. Do we try to bring the king out into the open? I mean, if we go there, push him forward, you know, like maybe he goes there, we capture with check. I don't know if I like that. Anyway, I'm going to start with this move. So that was correct. Now, do we go here? I don't know. That's the most forcing move. He's got to go there. Oh, and then I think we can go here and deliver the mate. All right. Yeah, because now we can just deliver a mate right here. All right, on to puzzle number 9. What now? We have the rook moving over, threatening this, you know, and then maybe that. Our move. Do we have any checks? Huh. Well, we could take this knight. So if we take the knight and the queen goes here, we deliver a check. Then what? Check. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking that's what we have to do. If we go there, if he tries to attack, we can just drop back and block. But we're still, are we down material? Let's see. I don't know. If we take that, he's probably just going to go there. If we deliver a check, then what? The king has to move. Huh. Well, I don't know about this one. Is there any kind of crazy check? No, that doesn't do anything. He can just take it. So I don't know. I'm thinking we have to go there. If the queen captures, then we go there with check. Then what? The queen can just block. I don't see a good follow-up here. Huh. I mean, maybe we have this fork here, forking the queen and the rook, protecting the pawn. If they go here, Maybe that's the way to go. All right, so I guess that's what they wanted. Now, is there a trick here? I mean, do we take that, attacking the queen, but then he could just take that? So, maybe we take that. If we go there, oh yeah, because then we're attacking the other rook as well. All right. So now it looks like we can just grab that. Okay, they're attacking, so obviously we want to drop back and save the knight and block the check. All right, I don't know, that was kind of interesting. On to puzzle 10, so the final puzzle here. All right, we had checked the king. The king runs forward here. Now what? We just have a queen versus their two rooks, which is a familiar theme if you watched yesterday's video of a Bobby Fischer game with two rooks versus a queen. And Fischer was able to use that queen to terrorize his opponent, chase the king. His opponent couldn't coordinate his rooks, which, they're kind of separated here, not working well together. But, well, I guess they are threatening to capture here and harass our king. So, what checks do we have? We could go there. Oh, and then maybe here, pick that off. So if we go there, the king can only go here. Then we fork these two. Take the rook. All right, I guess that's what they wanted. Okay, I hope you did well on these puzzles today. Feel free to go ahead and leave comments if you have any requests for something you want to see in future videos. Like and subscribe to support the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and have a super chess day.